maybe it's much too early in the game. Oh, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve. Wonder whose arms will hold you good and tight when it's exactly 12 o'clock that night, welcoming in the new year. New Year's Eve. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'd ever be the one you chose out of 1,000 invitations you'll receive. Ah, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve. But in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve.
So that was, we're welcome to hour number 5 of the Radio Dismuke 14th Annual New Year's Eve broadcast. That was quite a lot later than what we do. I didn't get a date on that one there. I could look it up, but it's probably from mid to late 40s, and that was one of Leslie's records. It's Kay Kaiser and his orchestra, but it's a New Year's theme, and what is it called, Leslie? It's called... the song is called...
It's What Are You Doing New Year's Eve?
What are you doing New Year's Eve? Well, I tell you what you are doing New Year's Eve. You are listening to us. You are listening to the Radio Dismuke 14th Annual New Year's broadcast, unless you're tuning us in on New Year's Day, and then what you did on New Year's Eve, who knows what you did. But at the end of this year, you'll want to tune in to us for New Year's Eve.
Yes. The vocalist on that, in case you might want to know, is Harry Babbitt.
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 It was Harry Babbitt, and because he was one of Kay Kaiser's big vocalists.
He was one of his most famous ones, I think.
And I think was there Ishka Bibble and.
Well, actually, yes, Ishka Bibble. I was reading, and like one of the big songs that he did was the Three Little Fishies.
The Three Little Fishies, and that was the Ishka Bibble and.
Little Fitties and the Mama Fitty too.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Three Little Fishies.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bubble boy.
Yeah. One of these days we'll have to do a big band broadcast again and pull stuff out like that. Those are fun. Fun.
You know, I've got something a little bit earlier. In 1928, there's a vocalist and drummer named Roy Evans, and he made some solo records with a jazz groupie accompanying him. Sometimes he'd have a country band accompanying him, and sometimes he'd be singing for with a jazz or a dance band. But he made a total of 30 or more records. But this is one of his solo efforts, Roy Evans, and he is singing here with a band, a Columbia studio band with Benny Goodman and some of the other jazz musicians backing him. It's called Roll On, Mississippi, Roll On.
What year?
1931. Roy Evans. Roll on, Mississippi, roll on.
Hear that whistle, there goes the bell. That means we're on our way. All aboard, boy, I'm feeling swell. This is my happy day. Paddle wheel, you're mighty, mighty slow. That's why I keep shouting, let her go. Roll on you, Mississippi, roll on. Come on, you lazy steamer, move on. Clear that river, here we come. Watch her smoke, boy, hear that engine humming, Lordy. Take a look at that shore. Soon I'll be with those folks I adore. There's a spot around that bend. That's my home, my journey's end. Come on, you old man river, come on. Roll on, you Mississippi, roll on. New Orleans, hello, bye-bye. New Orleans, getting long, going strong. Baton Rouge, so long. Say, Captain, tell me what's that next big town we'll see. I'm so excited I forgot my geography. Natchez do tell, Natchez fare thee well. Mustn't fret, I'm upset, getting worse, you bet. I got a holler so they'll hear it miles around. I want the world to know I'm Memphis bound. Come on, you lazy steamer, move on. Clear that river, here we come. Watch her smoke, boy, hear that engine humming, Lordy. Take a look at that shore. Soon I'll be with the folks I adore. Hurry, folks, don't be slow. Someone waits who loves me so. Come on, you old man river, come on. Roll on, you Mississippi, roll on.
Well, that was a good one, yes, and I've got the volume here on the thing, and I'm going to get my headphones on so I can hear better. My gosh, the turns are going by so fast now. We have fewer people here. The rotation comes up. So here's another one I've picked out. I hope it's the one here I've got on top. If not, we'll do a little digging through. So this is Clyde McCoy and his orchestra. This is from a Viva Tonal. I suspect this is from the late 20s, early 30s. I haven't gotten a date on that here. But I thought it was kind of a neat recording, and it's Clyde McCoy and his orchestra. And I've got several of these records here, and they're all Duke Ellington songs, actually. He's got a lot of Duke Ellington. He made things that Duke Ellington did favor him. I'm not sure if Duke recorded this one or not, but I like this one the best. And I've found a new baby on a Viva Tonal Columbia, and we need to get the. I think the settling will be good on this, and so let's put that on. I think this will play with the wider needle here decently. We'll see. And so that was Clyde McCoy and his orchestra. You always associate with Clyde McCoy with the Sugar Blues and, his I guess trumpet or what have you. But he had some hot recordings. I got several of them here, and that was really good. I wish now we had put a smaller styli on. I have a smaller styli here. This is a kind of a scuffed surface, and so if I had a smaller styli on this, it would have gotten down a little bit lower. And I was using a smaller styli when I was testing this out the other day. But it still was a good recording for us to listen to. So up next in our rotation is Eric. I keep losing track. Yes. They all go by so fast these days. And so Eric is picking out a record. So just a reminder, this is the 14th annual Radio Dismuke New Year's Eve broadcast, and we are playing all sorts of great, wonderful records. And so we have Eric here about to play a Pathé. Oh, this is beautiful. I wish we had some TV here, because he's got a mottled Pathé. Yeah. So what they did is, at that time, so like Aeolian and Vocalion records would have the orange shellac, which I think was the more natural. If I'm not mistaken, that was the more natural color, and the black.
Sure.
It was naturally orange, so most of the records are black. That they put black dye in it. But the Aeolians and the Vocalions in the early 20s and some of the Perfects were the orange colored record, and then they had a couple of them like this one here, where it's a mixture of both, so it's kind of mottled and marbled. And Matt, didn't you have one time? It was a Paramount or something that it was like a multicolored wax.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've seen a multicolored wax one. So anyway, that's a cool thing. It's going to be an acoustic record. This was a Pathé Actuel. Tell us about it, Eric.
Yeah. This is from 1927. So
27.
27. So
it is electric.
It's an electric recording.
Okay, yeah.
And this is by the Virginia Creepers. Actually, we're listening to the Lou Gold Orchestra with a vocal by Scrappy Lambert.
Oh wow! I don't find too many electrical Pathés. I should typically find
they're acoustic.
Find the acoustic, and I think they sold more in the Northeast than they did in Texas. I think, geographically, for the sales, which is why they're harder to find down here. I think you can find more of them. You find Perfects, which is their subsidiary, down here a lot, but you don't find a lot of Pathés here in Texas.
Yeah. So this is Ain't She Sweet? You'll recognize the tune.
Yeah, this is cool.
coming down the street. Now I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice. Now I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast an eye in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? Ain't she lovely? I repeat, don't think that kinda neat. And I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet?
So that one did have some condition issues here at the beginning. It started tracking better, but at the very beginning, the grooves at some point, something had caused damage to have them stressed out. So you heard some groove stressing there, and we were just talking while we were playing. If I were to bring out a smaller styli, it's possible it would sound a lot better there on that. And interestingly enough, that recording, that is actually in the Radio Dismuke, and I don't know if it was on the Pathé label it was on, or they also had the Perfect label, which was a subsidiary. And sometimes these records switch. It's possible it was issued on some other label besides that, because they swapped matrix with different companies they had reciprocal agreements with. But the recording, I actually have that. I just don't have access to the where we're at right now to see who recorded it, what label I had it from. But I have A78, and it's not a mottled wax one, because I would remember that. I only have a couple of the mottled wax ones. They're pretty hard to find. So up next in our rotation is Connor. It is Connor's turn. So what have you for us? This is a Victor Scroll. So tell us about it, Connor.
Well, all of the kazoos buzzing around here convinced me to get this one out. This is a sort of a jug band or skiffle group called the Five Harmoniacs, playing a piece called What Makes My Baby Cry from 1927.
Well, I guarantee you what will not make her cry is my kazoo playing. It'll make her delighted. So, yeah.
Really?
It will. She won't cry with my kazoo. She or my singing either. Yeah. Or my jokes. She'll love all of those. If you ever want to impress her, just send her my way. Here we go. And that was very enjoyable. I like that. I think that was maybe they'd have hired me to play kazoo for them. You never know. What do you think, Matt?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be.
Very distinct pronto possibility of that.
Yeah, we'll just have to pretend. I mean, because there's no way they're not going to be hiring anymore.
I think that you could put up a kazoo band and be called Dismuke's Pronto Pals.
Yeah.
And you could advertise for the Pronto Lights Corporation. I think they would hire you for that.
They never, back before we were non-profit, they never put ads on the radio station.
Oh,
they didn't. They wouldn't. So what have you up for us on the records?
I do. I have a British Decca, by a group called the Rhythm Maniacs, and they do two really good sides. We're going to play them back to back from the big production, The Flower of Hawaii, and the songs are written by Abraham Grunbaum and Beta, I think is who they are.
And the composer was Paul Abram.
Mm-hmm. And you know some history about that, don't you?
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite composers from that period. He was an operetta composer that was extremely popular in the late Weimar Republic era of Germany, and as soon as the Nazis took power in 1933, his works were completely banned. And after the war, they've enjoyed a revival. They're still performed over there, but a lot of his the tunes in his operettas made it into pop recordings, and they're very beautiful melodies. I don't understand what's happening with the records here. Everything good?
Yeah, it just has an off-center hole. We have to position it correctly.
Oh, okay.
So don't touch it. It's fine now.
It's a little.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's off, but he's got it good. So
leave it alone.
Yeah, just put the needle on.
The song is "My Golden Baby," and the flip side is "She's Just Like You."
Yeah, so My Golden Babies are really catchy tunes, so I'm looking forward to hearing this, because I haven't heard this particular recording, so I'm looking forward to this. I'm a big fan of Paul Abrams' recording, or compositions. Here we go.
My golden baby, my beautiful baby, my darling, my sweetheart, my song is for you. Du bist mein Sunshine, du bist meine Lady, my beautiful baby, mein Herz ist for you. Bist meines Herzens Pearl, wonderful Pearl. Du bist mein süßer, sunny girl, my golden baby, my beautiful baby, my darling, my sweetheart, my heart is for you. hab ein Divan-Püppchen, süß und herzig wie du. Genau wie du, genau wie du. Das hat ein Seidenkleid und kleine goldene Schuhe. Genau wie du, genau wie du. Das hat so schöne weiße Zähne und im Aug die falsche Träne und im Herzen Sägespäne, so wie du. Wenn man sie niederlegt, macht sie die Augen zu. Genau wie du, genau wie du. Kleid und kleine goldene Schuhe, genau wie du, 20 Paar, genau wie du. Das hat so schöne weiße Zähne und im Aug die falsche Träne und im Herzen Sägespäne, so wie du. Wenn man sie niederlegt, macht sie die Augen zu, wozu, wozu, genau wie du, wie du, wie du. Genau wie du.
Oh my goodness, Matt! Thank you so much for playing that. I loved both of those sites, but I am a huge fan of Paul Abram, the composer of that. He was the other operetta I was trying to forget. I kept forgetting the name was Bal Im Im Savoy. Also has just some incredible tunes from it, and he was Hungarian. He was a Hungarian Jewish composer, very popular in Germany. When the National Socialists took over in 1933, he fled to Budapest. And what happened as Hitler's army and power expanded through Europe, it basically followed him. So he ended up fleeing to Paris, and he was working in Paris. And all of a sudden, of course, the Nazis took over Paris. So he fled to Casablanca, and from there to Havana, and from there to the United States. And when he got to New York City in the 1940s, I think he worked as like a piano teacher, and he was a world-famous composer, but there was just no demand for him in the United States. He was not that well known, and so he could not find work, and then mental illness struck in. So what happened in 1946, there were episodes like he would ride up and down an elevator in his hotel screaming, "Faster, faster." And then one day in just beat-up clothes, but he had white gloves on and his baton, he stood in the median of Madison Avenue pretending to conduct an imaginary orchestra. And so in 1946 he was committed to the Bellevue mental hospital in New York, and he was there for I think quite a good while. And after the war, friends and admirers in Germany managed to facilitate funds to get him out and bring him over to Germany. And he never fully recovered. I think he lived up until around the early 60s, I believe, he stayed alive. But it was, basically it was just, all of a sudden, he's this world famous composer of just outstanding quality, and suddenly he could no longer work anymore. So he survived the Holocaust physically, but he was certainly a victim of all that. So one of the great tragedies, but seriously, if you go on, he's not so well known in the United States, but if you go on YouTube, After the war, there were and to this day, there's quite a lot of revivals of his operettas in Europe. And so The Flower of Hawaii, or De Blume von Hawaii, and Ball of Savoy, and Victoria und her Hussar were some. And you'll find some 78 recordings of those tunes and everything. So that's great. Matt's agreed after we finish the broadcast here, I am going to record both sides of that, digitize that, and it'll be held on embargo until this broadcast airs. But after this broadcast airs, they'll start, both sides of those will record in Radio Dismuke. So my favorites of the evening so far. Anyway, that's cool. Very cool. So what have we next from Leslie?
All right. This is a song called That's When Your Heartaches Begin. And this is not the Elvis Presley version. Instead, this is Shep Fields and his Rippling Rhythm Orchestra.
So here we go. So that was Shep Fields and his Rippling Rhythm Orchestra. Very Buff Bluebird 78 of Shep Fields, Rippling Rhythm. Very typical Shep Fields fare. And I was telling Leslie, I somewhere in my collection, and I had it out recently. I don't know why I've never added it to the station. Maybe it's a little bit too late, but I found a mid-30s Victor, where some guy, and I forget who it was, he was making, it was a parody of Shep Fields. He was doing a parody of all that. So I guess I'm up next. So I have one that's also a little bit later than what we usually do, but the song is something that Bix Beiderbecke and Frankie Trambauer famously had their little dueling thing on it. So this is Midge Williams and her Jazz Jesters. This is on a 1938 Blue Vocalion label, and this is Singing the Blues Till My Daddy Comes Home. When I played this earlier, I did a smaller styli. It was a little bit, and this was produced by Master Records, and so Master, I can't remember do you remember the story on Master Records, Matt? I think they issued a lot of stuff. They had their own label, but they also issued stuff on, on
Master Records. Irving Mills had Mills Music Publishing, started his own label called Master Records, and it was in the label, and Variety. He had Variety as well in 1937, and they lasted a year and a half, or a little less than a year and a half, probably only 1 year, around maybe a little over a year, and then he quit selling them they were always pressed by ARC. Well, he quit selling them as a standalone label because they didn't sell well. But what he did is he kept Master Records open, and ARC would license his recordings and press them on Vocalion or Brunswick.
Okay.
So he made more money that way. Instead of having to have ARC press the records and try to market the records, he just made the recordings and licensed them to ARC. They paid him, and they sold the records.
Okay. So yeah, it's and there were some good ones, good jazzy stuff.
It was devoted to jazz.
Yeah, and so this is a jazzy record. It was a little bit noisy record when I played it, and maybe the wider style I hear will help that a little bit. But it was a really good record when I sampled it out. I thought, we got to absolutely play that in the broadcast. So Midge Williams, Singing the Blues Till My Baby Comes Home.
Right into my heart, and I just sigh at that crying part. Oh, it shows your nerve when you hear yourself moan. If I got all I deserve, I wouldn't be here alone, so all alone. I wouldn't sigh all night. I'd sit by the window with a candlelight, singing the blues till my daddy comes home.
Wasn't one of the best conditioned records by far, but I just liked it enough, and Matt enjoyed that, and I just thought that was I thought it was worth including. So we're about to set up things for the cylinders in a few moments, but that's going to require a slight adjustment in terms of our setup here. So before we do that, Matt's got a record he wants to throw in.
It's just a themed. It's from about, I think, 1936. It's a themed record for the winter time.
I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. I got your mic back up.
Themed record by Dick Robertson and his orchestra from Decca. And I've never heard of the title. I got it recently, real inexpensively at I guess an antique mall or something, and it's called "The Rhythm of the Snowflakes." The rhythm of the Snowflakes, and I think that's a good winter theme, so I thought we'd throw that in there.
Oh, we need to turn it at 78 there.
Okay. Yeah.
And here we go. So let's give that a listen, then we'll start doing some cylinders.
Of the snowflakes, I was walking in the night. Soon the rhythm of the snowflakes brought an angel into sight. When I said, "For you my heart aches," and I looked into her eyes, to the rhythm of the snowflakes, love came dancing from the skies. Jack Frost played Cupid then and there in this fairyland tale. He changed the snowflakes in her hair to a bridal veil. Like the rhythm of the snowflakes whirling madly up above, that's the rhythm that my heart makes, for I found the one I love.
So that was cool. So we're going to be doing now some cylinders. That's going to require me to do some movement of microphones. Eric's going to go over and do some setups. So I'll try and keep talking while I do that. But it's kind of hard to. We'll just do it, and I'll talk as we do it. So we're going to make some movements around here while we set up for a couple more cylinders here. And so what I'm going to do is let me sure that this mic is on as well. So I'm going to turn the mic around, facing the cylinder machine, and then what I'm going to do is raise it up higher here, so we get the and I'm going to get it around this way. So what's going to happen is the mic will be closer to the level of the horn in height, and pick up more of the horn than the cylinder itself. and I think we're in good shape there. Now, Eric's going to get everything ready, and then when you're ready to tell people about it, you'll speak into it in this direction here.
Okay, that's fine.
And so he's going to be now going back to my mic.
All right. So we're ready to roll?
We are ready to roll.
Good deal. Well, when you were talking about the parody record here a couple of records ago, it reminded me that we actually have a parody cylinder here ready to play this evening. Now, this is a recording that was recorded in August 1909 by one of the veterans of the recording industry, Byron Harlan. You may remember him with Arthur Collins singing a lot of duets in the aughts and the teens. And it's ironic that that this is a parody of Enrico Caruso, the internationally renowned tenor who was the first person to really make a great deal of money from royalties from phonograph records. Victor saw his potential, signed him up very early in their career, and he made money for Victor and for himself until his death, and I believe it was about 1923. Very, very world-renowned, very famous artist. All kinds of success like this attracts parodies, of which this is one. It's ironic that in 1918, Caruso's first motion picture was called My Cousin, and on the flyer that went out on this motion picture, it was touted as a show that will start the ticket machines whirring again. It was for his first film, My Cousin. Now, this is a recording that was made much earlier, in 1909, My Cousin Caruso by Byron Harlan.
And so what we'll need to do again is, since this is a vintage machine, a 1908 machine that's been in Eric's family since 1908, we're going to do an open mic. We'll just be really quiet. I mean, there's no way to do this electronically. This is an acoustic machine. We have a microphone in front of it. So we're going to start. You're going to hear some cranking noises and stuff while he sets it up. Huh? The mic is live, so we're just going to have an open mic, and the rest of us will just have to be super quiet while we play the record. So here we go.
Here's the whirring motor.
And that was fun. I liked that. That was great. I mean, that, you know, still giving good entertainment 109 years later, and they sound great. I mean, these cylinders, you know, unlike a lot of the disc records at the time that had the surface noise with the steel needles, these had quieter playing surfaces. So you have another cylinder, right?
Yes.
So cool. He's bringing that out and putting that on the mandrel, which is what the cylinders fit over. It's a technical term for those. He's winding it up. So 110-year-old machine here that he's playing with, and I guess you're...
Yes, this one, that was the little problem at the beginning there, I think, had to do with the adjustment that changes it between a 2-minute and a 4-minute feed. And I think I had a gear that was maybe rubbing up against, and that it was that's why it was giving it a little bit of fits at first. I just backed the gear off a little bit, and that seemed to solve the problem. These could be fussy at times, and but anyway, yes, the next the record that's coming up is this is Billy Murray. He was featured earlier in the broadcast, and so we've met him before, and he interestingly, before he started making commercial recordings in 1903, he actually made some cylinder records back in 1897 in San Francisco, but they've never been found. So if you don't think there's rare Billy Murray records out there, there are. There are. If you can ever find those cylinder records,
yeah,
you'll be the first ones to find them, because they haven't turned up so far.
They're probably on brown wax, yeah?
Well, yeah, they're going to be really early. So this is a pretty interesting record. It's called In the Land of the Buffalo. It was recorded in 1907. This is a brown wax recording, and it is preceded by an announcement that says what it is, because there wasn't very much room on a cylinder to have a title. So the announcer would tell you what it was before the music started, and that was a hallmark of a successful recording, that it was well announced, loud and clear, so that you could hear it.
Yeah, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do this open mic. So here we go.
Wait a minute.
Wrong cylinder?
I think so. They're hard to read.
They are.
So,
They can be hard to read. Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of look alike. They don't have labels on them. They just have nuts. Sometimes they had titles on the side of them, but
yeah, the titles on the side can be kind of hard to read. So, okay, here's the right record.
Okay. Well, the other sounded good, but yeah.
There you go.
All right, so here we go.
In the Land of the Buffalo, sung by Billy Murray, Edison Record. See that old-time ranchman as he saunters from the train. Oh, what glad surprise. See that hearty handshake as he greets his friend again. Tears dim his beady eyes. Lord, them lights do sure look pretty. Long time since I've seen the city. Where's that gal you brought back here with you? City chap said, never mind her. I don't ever want to find her. Cowboy, tell me where's your brother Lou? He swelled his chest, brushed his vest, pointed west. In the land of the buffalo, where the western breezes blow, where the good night kiss of sunlight sets all the plains aglow. It was there you discovered your flow, in the days of long ago. But you never knew, brother Lou, look at who in the land of the buffalo. He's out there alone tonight, and pal, he's getting gray. You'll know the reason why. Where the howling coyotes seem to laugh at him and say, oh, why don't you die? She too him was 18 carats, but he says he'll grin and bear it, and perhaps the gal was meant for you. But as long as you have thrown her and you say you wouldn't own her, can't you find her for my brother Lou? I'll say her fair on the square way out there, to the land of the buffalo, where the western breezes blow, where the good night kiss of sunlight sets all the flames aglow. It was there you discovered your flow, in the days of long ago, but you never knew Brother Lou looked at who in the land of the buffalo.
And so that was really good. That was enjoyable.
Have you figured it out yet?
What
they were talking about?
I wasn't listening that closely.
Some things don't really change.
Manning the equipment. So, yeah. So we're ending with another hour. So this is our set. We're concluding our second to last hour of the 14th annual Radio Dismuke New Year's Eve broadcast. We have one more hour first, but I keep telling you about this wonderful announcer. He's got a really cool voice, sounds real professional. He'll come on and do the station identification, and on the back side of it, we'll be back with the final hour of the broadcast. And if you're catching us on the first airing, it will repeat in continuous rotation throughout New Year's Day. So stick around, and we've got more wonderful stuff for you. So see you on the flip side of the top of the hour.